Constructing your life is about much more than just building a bank account. Each week, join real estate entrepreneur and mindset coach Austin Linney as he interviews guests who are constructing their dream lives and impacting the world around them on a daily basis. If you're an entrepreneur or wanting to start a business, or you just want to hear motivating stories of how others have overcome the odds, you are in the right place. And now for your host, Austin Linney.
Guys, welcome to Construct Your Life. This is Austin Linney here. I have the honor of having Mr. Carlos Colon here. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing excellent. How about you?
I'm doing good, man. We appreciate you jumping on in the middle of a move and the construction of the new office. So that's good, man.
You having me. Thank you.
You know, what I like to do with my guests is I like to let them kind of start their story where they want to, and we'll kind of go from there. So. Okay. You start wherever you want. It could be at 1 year old, 16. It doesn't matter, my man.
Man, put me in the spot right off the back. I like it. So I guess I could start with the reason why I'm even here. One of the reasons I'm here, it's to hopefully make a difference. You know, my goal in life, and I know this sounds cliche, and everybody talks about it, and everybody says the same thing, but my goal truly is to leave this place a little better than I found it. I heard somebody say, and I can't remember exactly who it was, and I wish I gave them the credit, but somebody said that we shouldn't set goals that we could achieve. He said our goals should be so big that we never achieve them, but that we always have a North Star and where we know where we're going. And that kind of stuck with me. And I always thought, I had this giant dream of like making a difference in this world. And then I realized that I think it was Mother Teresa that said, if you can't serve the masses, start with one. Mm-hmm. So here we are, one by one, trying to help as many people as we can and making a difference, bringing some positive cash flow into this community, into this crazy world that we live in. And man, I'm glad we connected.
Yeah, man, it's interesting. I was talking to a coaching client this morning, and he's having some trouble with his health. And it's kind of along the lines of what you said earlier, is like, I know, but like, what is 10 minutes going to do for me? He's like, that's what he said to me. Like, what's 10 minutes going to do for me? And I said, hey, motherfucker, you're not listening to me. You have it twisted. It's the commitment and the acceptance of doing it that's going to unlock something in your brain. And then maybe 3 weeks down the road, it comes in at 20 minutes, but you're not even giving yourself permission to do it. So we have in my group coaching tonight, it's all about goals. I think goals, if you can't obtain your goal, what are you doing? Like, and the thing is like the pursuit of the goal, the pursuit of what I leave behind, that's the actual rub. It's like you and I are the type of people, like, we're not going to like, I've tried the beach thing. It lasted about 8 hours. And even that was like, I think I was stoned, it's like, like I had to like force myself. Here's the deal. I know this is very scary to say. We like to work. Like, and that's okay. It's taken me a long time to say that, but my girlfriend's like, you're a better person when you work.
That's amazing. My wife said the same things. She, like, one of the things that I think that has made my relationship with my wife now successful is the fact that we understand that about each other. Mm-hmm. My wife doesn't have to work, but she works 50 hours a week. Mm-hmm. And she comes home, takes care of business at home, takes care of the kids. We have a 6-year-old together and a couple of other kids running around. And, it's like when you're not productive, like people like me and you, like when we're not productive, what are we doing? We're just sitting there and our wheels are spinning. And we don't even know what to do with ourselves. We got to be putting our energy into some type of effort.
Mm-hmm. And there's this difference between money, revenue, and fulfillment. And I think a lot of people don't think that they can coincide in one sector, but they can, right? Yes. And so, what are the buckets for you in your businesses? What's your specialty right now as we talk today?
So I'm an insurance broker by trade. I've been doing insurance for the last 11 years. Mm-hmm. I started in the life insurance industry, and it kind of progressed from there. So I did really well with life insurance, And then I started introducing all the types of financial services like annuities, disability, health. And then eventually my wife and I decided that we were going to buy an insurance agency to do everything, commercial, auto, home, everything we could. And that also kind of took us a different route. But so we continue to introduce more businesses into our umbrella. And now our specialty now is doing life insurance, infinite banking. And then we introduce different forms of passive income opportunities like Forex, e-commerce. And we also own a couple of businesses on the side too. Like we own a medical clinic for pain management, but that's besides the point. Our specialty here is generating revenue.
And what's interesting to me is these rich white fuckers have been keeping this infinite banking thing to themselves for a long time, but it's starting to get out there, right? My boy does it. My boy's a big in the space. And I just talked to my client about it this morning. He's making great money. Didn't know anything about it. This is a 45-year-old human being. And your definition, what's the easiest way to describe infinite banking?
So infinite banking, by definition, is when you become your own bank. But if you ask me how I describe it by supercharging your savings, because you have a vehicle where you're putting money in, and obviously there's cost of insurance and you need to be able to qualify. So there's a lot of, disclaimers. But if you're able to qualify and if you're able to afford to do it, because it's not for everybody, you're going to put money in here in this bucket. And then this bucket is going to be earning interest. And then if you're earning interest and you're with a mutual company, you're also earning dividends. So now this bucket right here is earning, dividends and interest. And let's say you wanted to jump on a real estate opportunity, you could then turn around and borrow money against this bucket, and then use it for real estate. But in the meantime, it never leaves this bucket. It's like this bucket is still full. This bucket continues to earn. And then the trick is to make sure that it's earning more than you're paying here for the loan, because the loan will have, some type of interest that you will have to pay back. Or if you kick the bucket, you pay it back with your death benefit. But that loan will need to get paid back. But the trick is this money never leaves. Mm-hmm. So when you pay this money back, you never stopped earning. So it's like supercharging your savings.
Mm-hmm. I have a guy in Arizona who has 5 of them, and he takes 2 of them to do his flips and everything. And then he loans money to other investors, and he's making like 10% on his money. And he's like, he's like, I like this shit. Right.
It's so crazy. Like when you look at the portfolio of like a bank, like where's their money? Mm-hmm. Real estate and insurance. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You look at these, like the Warren Buffett's, like, yeah, he's made a ton of money in the stock market, but where does he have a park? Real estate and insurance. Mm-hmm. So they knew how to work the system and take advantage of contract law and to truly increase their wealth. And now this is available to everybody. That's the crazy part. This is available to everyone. But look, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, I come from like absolutely nothing. Mm-hmm. I come from a very, I don't even call it humble beginnings. I call it shitty beginnings. I come from nothing. I was born and raised in Puerto Rico. Then I moved to the ghetto south of Boston, and things were not looking good. And mm-hmm. when I first heard infinite banking, I had no idea what it was. In fact, mm-hmm. when I first heard that you could save money on a life insurance policy, talking about IULs, VULs, etc., it was a foreign subject to me. My definition of insurance was, okay, I'm going to pay this little bit of premium, and if I die, then my family's going to get this much. Good riddance. That was it. And so it took me years of truly like digging into these, this knowledge and books and information that's out there for everybody. Mm-hmm. And that's the crazy part. If you look for it, you can find it and you could do something about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think ultimately what's interesting when it comes down to things like that, and I'll be 100% frank, like I didn't even know about it till like 3 years ago. Like, and I talk to everybody. So, it's all relative, but what it takes is kind of I'm going to seek till I find, right? And I think investing, right, or starting businesses has taught you that mindset of like, no doesn't mean no. Like no means I haven't found the right option or I haven't found the right person to put me where I need to be.
100%.
Right. That's the mindset shift because, we had a company that we've been trying to put together for 3 months, and the guy wound up losing his father and wound up deciding to go spend time with family instead. And we champion that. Like, dude, hey, if you want to go spend time with your family, like, dude, we're good. But that left us dead in the water. I made 2 phone calls. We're good. We got a new partner. Like, and so like, it's not like, what am I going to do? Like one of this really good investors, a friend of mine, he buys I think he has 400 houses or something like that. And he said that he only checks his email for an hour a day, and he only checks it from 5 to 6. And the reason he does that is because he wants to teach his team to work without him. Right. Mm-hmm. And so he had a house burned down, and he didn't know about it for 3 days. And he goes, what the fuck did you want me to do? Put on my fireman outfit? I couldn't have stopped that. And it's just, what a mentality to say, like, hey, we're going to deal with it. There's insurance on the property. There's just different levels to this way of thinking. And when you start, peeling back the onion, you can really create some amazing mindset around some stuff.
That's so true. So one of the biggest lessons that I've learned in this journey of being an entrepreneur, I'm going to be 43 in January. And I've been giving it a shot since I was in my early 20s. And I've been actually successfully doing it for just, the last 5 years. So one of the things that I learned is that mindset, as cliche as it sounds, it truly is everything. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's not going to make you the money. It's not going to do it for you, mm-hmm. but it's going to allow you to do the things that you're supposed to be doing to make the money and to take care of business. Like, mm-hmm. I remember me and my wife were having this conversation. She truly is my real business partner. Like, my wife is my everything. And we were having this conversation. I was like, do you remember when our goal was to make $250,000 a year? And then it was like, okay, well, I think we could make 500,000. I think we can make 1.2 million. And now 1.2 million will be like a horrible year. And but it goes right back to what you said, what you said when you started. It's not even about the money. It's about the fulfillment and about the impact that we can make. It's not I realized that when I had $1 million in the bank, it was still me. I was still there. It's like, I think John Maxwell was like, wherever you are, there you are. And I realized, okay, so it's still me, and nothing really has changed. Our bills have gotten a lot more expensive. Our level of responsibility has gotten more expensive, and I don't feel any different. Mm-hmm. I think a lot of people think they'll arrive somewhere and be like, oh, light will start shining from their face and everything. And it's not the case.
No, it's not the case. And not only that, it's so far from the truth. It's ridiculous. Right. And, in the last year, I got a year and a half, I got divorced, and I got laid off in the same week. Right. And I started a podcast. It was it's a very roller coaster of a week. And, had to give up a house that had a lot of equity into it, had to give up a dog, most of my stuff. Right. Mm-hmm. So it was me, my bike, and about 7 boxes. Right. And it's the freest I ever felt. And I realized, holy shit, I don't need fucking jack shit. And for me, it's people and travel. That's all I care about. Impact, people, travel. And so if I'm doing those things, then regardless of what it looks like on the outside, meaning the cars, the things, but here's the rub. You really have to know who you are for it not to bother you. And I don't think enough people, they're being distracted by, drugs and alcohol, Netflix, whatever. They're not really saying, do you really want that shit? I heard some guy say the other day, he's like, I've coached people my whole life for 10 years. I've asked them one question. It's the first thing they say to me. I want to be a millionaire. Okay, great. Why? Nobody has an answer. He goes, what if I gave you 600,000? And they go, oh, I'll take that too. And he goes, see, you didn't even really want the million. And it's one of those things that I don't think we've really looked at our lifestyle and said, this is what I want. Because at the end of the day, you could, figuratively, not shut it down, but you could coast probably for the next 20 years and be 100% fine if you wanted to. Yeah.
100%. So yeah, that's really interesting, because that is one of the biggest things, my I go back to my wife, man. She's a really good woman, and she's still like, even when she doesn't have to, she still like price shops. She still, she still wants to go to Target. She still wants to, like go to the clearance rack. She doesn't have to, but she's always telling me, and I love it, because I think in every relationship there needs to be a visionary and there needs to be an operator. And I think that in my partnership with my partner, Ryan, he's the operator, I'm the visionary. And in my marriage with my wife, Joslyn, I'm the visionary, she's the operator. She's the one telling me like, yeah, but we could take that money, we could put it in an annuity and do this with it. And now we have our retirement set up. Me, I'm not, you know what I mean? Like I'm thinking, we could blow this up, we could make this much, we could do this and that. She's the one that kind of like grabs me and puts.
If it wasn't for our spouses, because I think you and I are very similar, I would Airbnb the car and the dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't care about my personal comfort. Now, one of the things I'm trying to learn is that I do operate when my environment is good. Like, I like a good office. Yeah. Like, I like a good office and a good gym. If you give me those two things, and you know what, and a patio. So if you give me my backyard, an office, and a gym, I'm straight. Like, But one of the things I've been trying to talk myself into is because, like, I always do this to myself. Like, I travel, and I won't get the hotel that I want, and then I'm at the hotel that I picked, and I'm like, let's fuck this, goddamn, and I tell myself every time. So, what one of the things I'm working with a lot of entrepreneurs is like, how do you, because you are doing so many things, how do you celebrate your wins? Like, how do you? Like, and I know you came, like, you can share on that story if you want, but, like, do you practice gratitude, like, on a daily basis? Is that how you kind of celebrate your wins? Because there's always going to be more, right? That's the rub. It's like, how do you like anchor those moments?
So that's a really good question. And that's like a really personal question to me, because, like I said earlier, like I come from absolutely nothing. And I'm very, very careful to not celebrate my wins too long. I think a lot of people get in celebration mode and then it kills the momentum. So I'm very careful to I practice gratitude every morning. Every morning, I have a daily routine that I do not alter, because I feel like that's my grounding. Like if I mess up my daily routine, my entire day is off. So I start my day, I literally, unless I have to go to the bathroom and pee really bad, I literally roll out of bed into my knees and I give thanks. And I do that every single morning. And I go get my little 6-year-old to get him ready for school. And I make sure that during that time that I'm with my 6-year-old, I'm not doing any work. So it's just my wife, my 6-year-old, my 17-year-olds they get ready for school. And it's just me there with them. I make them breakfast. We'll chat a little bit, have some water and black coffee. And after that, as soon as they leave, I work out. And then I don't know if you asked me all this, but now I'm just.
No, it's good. It's perfect. Yeah.
So as soon as they leave, I work out. And then after, I finish working out, I groom, and then I get ready and I set my intention for the day. I try to always pick at least 3 things that I could do for the day. My list will be really long. Like I have a to-do list, but I always try to pick like my top 3 milestones of the day. And if I don't do anything else, those 3 things have to get done. And it's typically the hardest things of the day. Like I try to just eat the frog as soon as possible, and get to work on it. But, I do celebrate. I do get nice things for myself. I don't go overboard. I don't get anything that I can't really afford. Like, like I seen like all my peers, diamond watches and all that stuff. And I have one. I actually have one, and I gave it away. I gave it away to a buddy of mine, because to be honest, man, it's like, it doesn't really do anything for me. And I'm just really grateful for the process.
Sure.
That's really what I'm grateful for. It's awesome to win. It's even better to realize that you became a better person in the process of winning.
Yeah. And what people don't understand, right? When you come from places, drug addiction, where you did, from poverty, like the thing that's actually harder is to learn how to win and keep winning.
Yeah.
Like that's the scary thing. That's why people won't stop. That's why they're burnt out, because they're so scared if they flip off the pedal for one day, it's all going to come crashing down, because they don't truly believe that they've created success. I've asked the same question to 500 fucking people, and no motherfuckers answered it. I say, are you successful? Nobody says yes. And I said, success is a personal choice. It's a reality.
Yes.
Like I'm not a drug addict anymore. Like I'm successful as fuck. Like, you know, it's like those little moments, right? But we can be moving so quickly that we don't even realize how far we've come, because when you're around people like we are every day, like those years, you can pack a lot in a year. Mm-hmm. Like it's been a fucking crazy year. And I look at all my friends and everybody I talk to, everybody's healthier than they've ever been. They're more connected with their family. Business is booming. Because we didn't see an opportunity and say, oh, I'm just going to shut it down during this crazy ass fucking 2 years. We said, no, we're going to double down on everything. And look where we all are. Like everybody, I don't know about you, but everybody I'm around's winning right now.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. And it's so true that you say that, because one of the first conversations that I had with my wife when we were getting into business together and doing different things is she told me straight up to my face. She was like, Carlos, you're never going to be successful until you stop sabotaging yourself.
Yes.
He was like, why are you so afraid to be successful? Like, you're going to have to forgive yourself. And I was like, whoa, easy. You hitting me with something heavy here. Like, forgive myself. And then I realized she was so right, because of the way I grew up and all the things that I did while I was growing up. I was almost ashamed to be successful. Mm-hmm. And I knew that my success was going to come at the price of losing friends and family members, which I did. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But I had to let go of that. I had to completely accept that at some point in time, I was going to be the bad guy in somebody else's story. And I needed to accept that, because, we're the heroes of our own story. But mm-hmm. just because we're the heroes, it doesn't mean that we're not the villains to somebody else. Mm-hmm. It's like, I was just listening to Jordan Peterson, his book, 12 Rules of Life. He talks about chaos to us is a mother bear mm-hmm. who nurtures and loves her cubs so much that she's willing to tear us to pieces. Mm-hmm. So to mm-hmm. us, she's the bad guy, but to her mm-hmm. cubs, she's a hero. Mm-hmm. And that's us right now. Like the more we win, the more we become villains in somebody else's story.
I had a lot of people reach out to me after I got sober and I started the podcast. And they'd send me DMs like, I don't know who the fuck you think you are. Like, you're a drunk. Like, who would listen to you? Like, go fuck yourself. Like, all the time. Not so much anymore. And at first I was like, fuck, god damn. Like, what did I do? But then I realized, like, that's just their own insecurities with themselves. And you know what's fucking crazy is now I have those same people reaching out to me, asking me for help. These are old bosses. Yeah. These are old, like, I had to destroy everything, like everything in my life, like burn the boats, do the dynamite. But here's what they don't tell you. The joys of that is you finally get to leave what you don't want and take what you will and get to move on with your day.
It's liberating.
So there's actually some freedom in blowing your entire fucking life up.
It really is. And I think people underestimate the power of being the real self, your real self. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And when you do that, you have no option but to be you. Mm-hmm. Like, dude, this is what you get. Like, mm-hmm. there isn't anything else. I'm not gonna, I don't talk differently to my clients that I'm talking to you right now.
Oh, dude, that's my number one. Oh, I spent 20 years in hospitality. The number one thing I would hate, my boss would say to me, hey, that's the coach, by the way, waited on him all the time. That's the coach of the Spurs. Make sure you give him VIP treatment. No, I'm good. Nope. The janitor, Greg Popovich, they get the same shit and they're both happy.
Yep.
That's the way I roll. And I can't stand that this or that or whatever. It's, and I think at the end of the day, and even I'll admit it, I didn't say this till 2.5 years ago. I never said out loud that I was going to be successful. Like, I never fucking said it until I got in a fight with my ex-wife and we were in the car and it was like one of the last fights. And I was like, I will be motherfucking successful. And there's nothing that you're going to do that's going to hold me back from that. And in that moment, it felt like all this fucking just bullshit left off of me because I finally admitted to myself, because 90% of the men are walking around working fucking 90 hours a week and going, I'm doing this for y'all. And the kids are looking back and going, we didn't ask you to, motherfucker. It's for you. Just say it's for you and then move on with your day. Like, men, dude, I'm sorry. You can ask my mentor who's worth plenty of money. He's like, motherfucker, I'm selfish. He's like, I like it. He's like, I like this shit. I like development. I wanted to buy hotels. Like, that's okay. But we've talked. It's the same thing I told you when we talked. Everybody's telling you, Carlos, stop making money. You made too much money already. Or the same people, like, die on that sword. No, if I have more money, I can give more money. Like, stop shooting capitalism down. It's what created this country.
That's it. I always say, and I tell my children this, and I tell anybody that will listen, don't ever apologize for wanting more out of life. Mm-hmm. Like, we are all going to be at the end of the life, at the end of everything, especially in life insurance. I use this metaphor very, very much so. I'm like, look, one day you're going to be 6 feet under, 7 feet in a 7 feet long casket, and it's going to be you, and that's it. So you better take care of you first. You can't give what you don't have. Mm-hmm. And more than anything, I wanted to show my kids. So I came from nothing, and I worked for years with a chip on my shoulder, angry because I thought that I was dealt a shitty card. Mm-hmm. Like, why did I have to grow up in this family? Why? I don't even know my father. Like, why didn't my father care to even know me? He was, I hate to shit on him like this, but so be it. He was supposed to pay $15 a week. That's a 1 and a 5, $15 bucks a week for child support that he never paid. It was like, so for this whole time, I'm like bitter.
Dude, it's crazy. I heard this, and this resonates to you. If he was the father that I wanted him to be, I wouldn't be the man that I am today.
That is so true. That is so
true.
And
Brene Brown said this. It's so much easier for us to be angry at them than to be sad that they're just never going to be what I want them to be. Because that feeling is so much easier.
Yeah, that's true. But and that's how I lived my life for many years, just angry and trying to prove everybody wrong. And then you know what I realized? Nobody gave a shit. Nobody was waiting.
Hey, hold on. Isn't that the most fucked up day though? When it finally clicks, like you're just like, brother, I've been running around here bruting for fucking years.
You're like, I made it. And then you look back and you're like, nobody gave a shit. And I was like, well, I might as well just keep doing it for myself then.
Yeah. No, then it becomes 100% free. Yeah. Right. Then it's 100%. So for anybody that's out there, for any of the young kids that are looking to get in business, investing, everything, what's kind of your, quick tips for them, like over the years that you've been doing business and so on, that you've learned for yourself, any advice you could give them?
Yeah. So my advice is going to be a little unorthodox because I grew up a little bit, on the other side, but so I recommend 2 things. Number one is you have to build your backbone. And I don't think this gets talked about enough. You have to become gritty, and you have to become the very most savage. And I don't mean like, oh, let's be a savage. I mean, the very most savage version of you under control. And one of the things that helped me was fighting. So I started training when I was 12 years old, 13 years old. I started doing boxing. From boxing, I moved to, Muay Thai, MMA, Jiu-Jitsu. And that taught me to be pretty fearless. So I highly recommend it. I highly recommend that you put yourself, it doesn't have to be fighting. Fighting is just not for everybody. Nobody wants to freaking have a nose that turns into a Nike symbol if you squeeze it enough. But get into something uncomfortable that forces you to be out of character and out of your comfort zone and out of the easy, right? Because business is going to kick your ass, and business, it's going to be a bunch of failure sprinkled with successes. So if you don't have the backbone, if you don't have the grit, if you don't have the resilience to get back up and continue going, you will quit, and you never know. I will say that I've been an entrepreneur since I was in my early 20s. I literally just got quote unquote money where I started making over 7 figures about a few years ago. So it took me all that time. Imagine I would have gave up when I was 38. I will still be in the same position. I will probably be working. I posted this on social media the other day. My old job, I had a salary. It would have taken me over 20 years of that salary to make what I made in the last like 3 months. So we're talking about what kind of life do you want to lead? And it doesn't matter, having a job is completely fine. My wife has a job. She loves it and she does really well. And I know plenty of people that do really, really well. One of my best friends is in the military. He's retiring as a captain. He's done really, really well. So, but what kind of life do you truly want? Figure that out and then build your career around your life, not your life around your career, or you will be miserable every single day. So I guess, gritty and build your life before your career.
Oh, it's something that's not talked about enough, and resilience. Like, dude, that's why I love Tim Grover, because he's so raw about his shit. Because like, what does he say? Like, winning's like the 3-legged chair, and then as soon as you sit on the motherfucker, he's yanked out from underneath you. Like, he's a fucking crazy motherfucker. I love it because everybody asks me all the time, like, why, like, you just don't give a shit anymore. It's just because I've been in the fires enough. Like, I've lost the money. I've been fucked over many, many, many times, and I just don't care. But when you're getting out of the gate, and what is that law of the nature, like the law of favor, right? They'll give you some wins at the beginning, and then the Lord and the universe is going to see how bad you really want it, right? And I couldn't but when you plant your flag, like I tell everybody all the time, like, what's the option? Like, seriously. Like, what's the option? What are you going to go do? You're going to go back and like slink back to your job. And, you only want to go back to that because it's comfortable, because it's so easy. Because entrepreneurship is walking down a fucking hall with the lights off and you can't find the door. There's no handles. But I promise you, you own your time. And not everybody needs to be an entrepreneur, but you can go work for one, or you can go join a company that is. Because at the end of the day, when you get the money, or when you sell the house, or when you do everything, like my perfect example is like crypto, right? Like, there's a lot of motherfuckers that just guess right. I don't give a shit what they tell you, right? And they don't have the financial wherewithal to spend the money. That's why they're scared shitless. That's why they won't liquidate, because they don't know anything. It's like an athlete getting money when they don't know anything. Like, but that happens to people, and then other people have to work for it. And so, it's like, at the end of the day, you have to build up, like you said, a backbone to create, because it's not, some days it's going to be easy and some days it's going to be really hard. And at the end of the day, that's what we have to look forward to. And it's just, don't think it's going to be easy. Millionaires still have problems.
Absolutely. And they're bigger when it comes, especially financially. But here me and my partner, Ryan, we're always joking around. This is the stages of business. We're in a problem. We just left the problem, or we're going into a problem. That's it. That's it. And anybody in the world with somewhat of common sense can make decisions for a business and be just fine. It's that chosen few that are able to handle those problems that are really the ones that succeed in business. And you hit it right. Like, you don't have to be an entrepreneur. You could work with an entrepreneur that aligns with your values. You could work with a company that comes close to what you want to accomplish. It's okay to be a part of something without being the lead, because at the end of the day, like, one thing that I realized running my business is that now, where my business is, I don't own my business. My business pretty much owns me, because everything good that happens gets credited to my team. Everything bad that happens is my responsibility. So yeah, it's awesome. I could take time off. I know my partners have it. Ryan, Alex, I know that they'll run the business without me. They don't even need me to make decisions. But if an issue happens where something grossly gets mismanaged or something, it doesn't matter where I'm at. I have to take care of that business. So it's all about the people. It's all about your team. And just it's you need a backbone for that. You truly do.
Yeah, you do. And you need to be, and this is what I always have like a theme every year, like a word, and I could just basically take the same word for the next 60 years and be good. Emotional stability. Ooh. Like that's my number one thing I work on, because I know as a CEO, you can't, they can also feed off the energy, but they can also feed in the negative way if you can't keep your shit together. So yeah, super, super important. So if people want to find out about what you got going on and what you're doing, how would they do that?
They could go to my website. I got a couple of websites. They can go to my website, just like my name, carlosecolon.com, CarloseColon.com, or my company website is acefg.com. It stands for acefinancialgroup.com. Either way, they could contact me there or follow me on Instagram. My Instagram handle is official_Carlos_Colon. I'm always happy to meet people, and value is free. You don't have to, anything that I could possibly be of value to you, I'm not going to charge you for it. That's what we're here for. So
I love it. Guys, if you like this episode, send it out to your friends, share it with somebody that'll get some value, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you for listening to Construct Your Life with Austin Linney. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to rate, review, subscribe, and pay it forward by sharing with a friend. Most importantly, take this opportunity to start constructing your life by taking immediate action on what you learned. For show notes, resources, and more information on one-on-one coaching with Austin, visit constructyourlifepodcast.com.